Hello, hello. It's me. I've not been live for a while, so I thought I would. Um, so what's been going on the Shy Life podcast? This I don't know so far this year, but um, that's sort of probably going to be half. Well, if not half, but certainly a good deal less episodes this year, and I'm not really sure why. To be honest, I've been busy with um, the music that I do on Udio, and but really, um, sometimes my fingers are not feeling up to it. But I've been out and about today. I've been up the garden. I'm at my parents'. I've been up the garden recording poems for an episode from next year about a book called Mugshots. Um, uh, this book that I wrote. Well, it'll be 20 years old next year, but I'm ahead. This is the thing. I am uh, kind of busy with recording episodes, and um, I'm going to tell you a bit about episodes that are coming up before the end of the year. But I'm also going to tell you a bit about an episode that sort of delayed things a bit um, over the last month or so. It will be out later in October. It's called Alien Ick and the Podcaster's Tears, and it was a silly idea that Grizzly and I had. Um, well, it tickles me. Sometimes you see about all these celebrity um, perfumes, and I just got to thinking, I wonder how they're made. But obviously, not in a realistic way. I love the idea that, like for instance, Kylie and her wine. I like the idea that Kylie's out there treading them herself, or that maybe her and her dancers are treading the grapes. And then it occurred to me that, yeah. Well, to be fair, I wrote a story about 15 years ago that all of the uh, pop stars are sent into a corner with a bucket to cry into them to make perfume. And that's what I was doing for this episode of the podcast. And yeah, the the thing about the episode that was that Ig hadn't been around for many episodes, so it seemed to be a good episode to involve him in. And Grizzly and I recorded the episode back, quite a few months ago now, and unfortunately, the connection maybe wasn't as good as it should have been. Grizzly, well, I had problems with tech this year. Sometimes when I'm at my parents', sometimes when I'm at my own flat, and sometimes I end up using my mobile phone to do my speaking parts, and then Grizzly presses play his end, and not yeah. Anyway, I was going to say he doesn't press play on his end, but yes. So hello. So when I came to edit the episode, I discovered that pretty much most of the lines were fine, except for X lines, which seemed, by the time I put the special effects on, they were a little bit distorted and sometimes quite hard to listen to hear. And I know sometimes people struggle to hear Ig anyway if they don't get their ears attuned, but usually That's their fault, not mine. It does sometimes take a while to tune your ears in with voices on, not just on my podcast, on lots of podcasts where there are funny voices. But in this case, I thought, yeah, I'm struggling to hear what I'm saying, and I said it. So, trouble is, I wasted about 10 days trying to clean up the audio, and last month I only released 3 episodes, which was my lowest since I started. I wasn't happy at all. Considering that some months in the past I've released 10, 12 episodes, more often 8, 9, 10, but 3 is too low. And so I just, in the end, last month, I released some easy to edit episodes because I was just, this is taking too long. And so I've been working behind the scenes on the Podcasters Tears episode, and I'm glad to say it's almost ready to go. Well, I'm at least, I don't know, over halfway, 3/4 of the way maybe. But I just realised I'm just going to have to re-record all of Ike's lines, and that's the only way. Everything else is pretty much all right. But as it's an episode that features Ike, it does mean that was quite a big undertaking. And I've got to the sort of final segment of the episode, and Ike's having really long like speeches and things. So just doing my best. I'm thinking the episode's going to be out by the weekend though, or after the weekend. But yeah, it will be out. And then I'll be working on the Halloween episode. I'm not sure if I can share my screen. I think I'm meant to be able to. Let's have a go. I haven't got anything I don't want to share. Let me have a look. Choose what to. I always have so many tabs open. What is the one I want to open called? Just a moment. I should have done this before, but there we go. There we go. It's that one. Yeah. Unfortunately, you have to pick it from a list. I can't do it with these stupid sunglasses. So let's just see. Let's see if it's that one. No, I don't think it is that one. Is it that one? No. Apologies for this. I might have to just read it off the screen. I just thought it would be nice to share the screen. I can't actually see. The stupid thing is I can see that. Let's see. No, let's not bother. Let me just read it to you. It should be so much easier than it is. What about this one? There we go. Oh no. What about this one? This is it. Right. This is my rough plan of episodes. I've got episodes going way into, well, past Valentine's Day next year, already recorded. So after the Ick episode, I've got Halloween. It won't be called Halloween 2024. That's far too boring. I'll be calling it something else. That's going to be a good episode. I've got a lot of special guests from other podcasts, from all over the world, from America, from Italy, from UK, from Poland. So you can probably guess some of the people that are involved. Then A Traitor in the Midst. Some of these we recorded quite a long time ago now. That A Traitor in their Midst is an episode that I did with Matthias Stroke Grizzly, and it was when I'd been watching a lot of episodes of the Traitors, and although really it's not anything to do with the traitors at all. But I don't think you really need to see this screen. You might prefer to see me, but at least you I can do it. Oh, let's go back again. Yeah, I don't know if that was even working. So yeah, then in November we have the dinner party, which is an episode with Bettina, Charlotte, and Toppy. Again, recorded quite a while ago. Then I have an episode with Andy, the birthday twin, which is provisionally entitled "The Birthday Twins Are Back Behind Bars," because we're talking about Prisoner Cell Block H. There we've got Shy Yeti's birthday shindig, which I've recorded half that episode with Toppy. The other half will be a diary episode, which I'll record actually at the time, if anything exciting happens. But yeah, that'll be out a little bit after my birthday. Then I've got a gap, which I may fill with a Sutton Park episode or two. Those episodes have been going down. People like hearing people from the podcast do things 30 years ago. Then episode 746, which will probably be the last one of November, is Matthias is back in London, which is actually happening. He really is coming back. We did last time. We'll probably record 2 episodes. I'm thinking of a diary episode and probably a fictional episode, but perhaps they won't follow quite the same path. Last year, the 2 episodes were, sorry, not last year, it was this year. Feels like last year. When Matthias came over in April, we recorded 2 episodes, but they followed it on the same sort of, one was a fictional episode of the trip and one was a factual episode of the trip. This time I think I'll make the fictional episode, it won't necessarily be in order. We'll try and have a bit of or it won't be quite so obvious that we're traveling to the same places, in theory anyway, because obviously we're supposed to be having fun and spending time together, which of course is what we will be doing. Then in December we have an episode called Charity Begins at the Toy Hospital. Now, oh dear, this episode had problems. There was a power cut during this episode. Well, the power cut didn't happen until towards the end of the recording, but there was lots of special effects, loads of voices. Poor Matthias. I put him through so much in that episode, but the recording came out slightly fuzzy and not right. And I was going to try and just re-record the bits that weren't great, but in the end, I just decided I just listened, because we don't have scripts. We're improvising, and a lot of even the plans for the episodes are only quite scant, and so I listened to, because it was just the original version was perfectly possible to listen to it, but it just wasn't to the standard I wanted it to do. So we sat there and we did a different version, but following all the same sort of. I don't know yet. Until I edit it, I don't know whether I think it's better than the take. Certainly, there'll be certain bits that I prefer, and I did trim some scenes where I explained things far too much, far more than I needed to. After that episode, we'll probably have the second episode with Matthias in London. Then we have the one before 750, which involves, and then episode 750, which we've been planning for ages, and we've been talking about it on the show for ages. Originally, I really didn't think it was going to be the end of the last, or like the season cliffhanger. I thought it was going to happen a lot earlier. Then it sort of came to the point where, okay, well, we're editing episodes, we're releasing episodes slower, so we'll have to we'll have to see. And then it was like, okay, it would be kind of good if this was going to be the end of season episode cliffhanger. I still plan after that episode in December to release the season review. There won't be a 2-part season review this year. There's not enough episodes. I'll just do one. And then maybe another Sutton Park episode if I have time. Some of these gaps are sort of the points where I put Sutton Park episodes. If something else gets recorded, which I'm really keen to release quickly, then the Sutton Park episodes will be pushed back. I hadn't done any Sutton Park episodes for absolutely ages, and then suddenly it became, oh yeah, I've got so much material, and it would be a quick edit, and they're fun. So now I'm kind of quite keen, having enjoyed editing them and hearing myself and my friends. So yeah, I mean, I'm having a quite quiet Christmas, so I'll probably, if I don't do anything, if I don't do a live thing before then, I'll definitely try and do some live stuff between Christmas and New Year, and I can tell you a bit about episodes that are coming. Well, you can check the blog. The blog has a lot of this information anyway. Not much detail, but I'll probably tell you more than the blog will. But I have loads of episodes with Martin and I talking about music. Also, every time I record, for those of you who don't know, I'm on Martin Holmes's podcast, Vision on Sound, about once a month, and we record once a month, and we also record some grumbling. We used to record music episodes, but because I've got 2 or 3 of those still to use, grumbling is easier, smaller, and I can sort of put it as extra material, or I can do a dedicated episode. Yeah, there's a few plot lines that I'm going to have to push into next year, like Cromitty and Yeti Uncle John wedding crashing. I think that's going to be a bigger plot next year. And I've done episodes where we've done diary chats from our 1990 diary. We've also just talked about stuff about the 90s. I've got episodes with Robot Big Fatty and Max Dupre planned. I've even got at least 2 episodes, which must be 2 or 3 years old, which have kind of been standby episodes, which there's nothing wrong with them, but they just kept getting pushed back. I'll be interesting to see what they come out like. One of those episodes was an old-fashioned night of gaming with Yeti Uncle John, myself, Cromitty, maybe somebody else, and we were playing a quite complicated card game, and well, let's just say it could be quite difficult playing cards with those guys for many reasons, and I'm not sure how well it came out, but it could have come out brilliantly. We'll see. I've got an episode where Cromitty introduces his mentor from years ago. The person doing the voice of the mentor at the moment is one of 2 people. Well, possibly the person I want to be the mentor may not have the time to do it, even though it was him who sort of created the character in a way in just one of our chats. So yeah, I'm kind of holding out for hopefully being able to do that with him, but we'll see. I have a standby otherwise. We've got some episodes where we're talking about Doctor Who, Nick and I. We've got poetry episodes, like I said. I want to do another episode using audio stuff, not Sutton Park, but stuff that was done dedicated, me on the radio or this or that. I've got loads of stuff because Nick keeps digitizing things for me, and I haven't had a chance to listen to half of them, and we did do some episodes just with audio and old audio, and yeah. So that's it then, really. I just wanted to update you a bit, sort of explain why things have been a little bit slower than usual, and reassure you that there's some really good episodes coming up soon, and one or two that I've struggled with, but technology being the problem, or as I say, when Mateus and I recorded the episode about there was a big storm in Poland whilst we were doing it, because we were on Skype, and there was a power cut, and the internet went down, and I was left acting into the void, which made both of us annoyed because we were really getting into it. That's my only worry about recreating things, is that sometimes that first time you're so vibing off one another that it feels slightly false if you're then going back and trying to recreate